with meteorologist Julia Blanchett.
Rain and snow are on the way for western Colorado, but they're delayed a little bit. That storm system we've been tracking is now expected to arrive on Sunday. But once it does arrive, we're expecting to see valley rain, mountain snow, and maybe a slushy, wintry mix in there as well. We're expecting all of our temperatures to drop significantly. We're going to see temperatures down in the 40s and the 50s, opposed to the 60s that we're seeing today. So let's talk about that storm and where it is and what it's up to. We're looking off the coast of California. You can see there's a large swirling motion present, and that is our low pressure circulation. That low pressure circulation is actually going to drag all sorts of moisture from the coast and from the northern areas into the states. And as it moves inland, it's going to move towards Colorado, eventually bringing us some snow, some rain, and everything in between. So let's take a closer look at that and time it out hour by hour, because on your Friday, you're expecting cloud coverage to start gathering by a lot. But nonetheless, Saturday is also cloudy. We're not expecting anything too crazy. Temperatures will cool a little bit with that cloud coverage, but we won't drop significantly until going into Sunday. So Sunday at midnight, that moisture is just about to cross into the state, and it moves towards us, eventually bringing some of that moisture to our local areas. The San Juan Mountains could see about a foot of snowfall from this storm system, making it pretty powerful. And then looking at Grand Junction and off towards Fruita, we're expecting to see rain, but once the sun goes down, we could see a slushy mixture of rain and snow, even in the low valleys. Depends on how cold our temperatures get. But looking at the northern mountains and along I-70, we're also expecting to see some moisture on those roadways, so travel conditions could be a little bit iffy at that point in time. But if we take a look at what we're expecting today, it's still above average, and we're not expecting to cool down until that storm system reaches us. So that means here in Grand Junction, you have a high of 65 degrees in the meantime today. The average high is 54, so you're over 10 degrees difference between those expected highs and your forecasted highs. In Montrose, you're expecting about 64 degrees today, and then your average highs are actually about 53. So again, a large temperature gap there. And if I have yet to mention your location, you're expecting to see about 65 in the Meeker area today. Glade Park will be around 51 degrees, and down towards the Delta, we're 68 degrees, Montrose 64, and then down towards Cortez about 65 degrees. So lots of changes on the horizon, and we're expecting to be warm in the meantime. Grand Junction 41 overnight, which is still abnormally warm as well. And looking at Delta and Montrose, 37 degrees overnight, Cortez about 32. But taking a peek at those 7-day forecasts, they look exactly as you might expect them to. That warm weather sticks with us for the first few days, and then eventually we start to cool down and invite some moisture into the forecast as early as Sunday evening after dark. But that will move into Sunday, where we have 50% chance for rain, Monday a 40% chance for rain, and Tuesday a 20% chance of that sticking around. And in Montrose, same thing as in the forecast, warm weather, at least until we see some changes when that storm system arrives, and that storm system will bring us some rain, possibly even a rain-snow mixture. It's important to note, though, none of that snow will stick. And in Delta, 68 degrees today, 69 on Thursday, Friday 64 degrees, and in the near future we will see that moisture roll in, changing our weekend forecast and what the start to our work week looks like. And last but not least, the Cortez area sees something similar, about 65 degrees today, 67 on Thursday, Friday 60 degrees, and Saturday and Sunday we will start to cool down right before we start to see that moisture way after dark on Saturday.